Welcome to the video. Today I'm looking at a tier 10 Chinese medium tank, the 121, because pretty much I haven't played this thing in a long time and I'm probably going to start playing the 430U soon. I'm just kind of looking to get a gauge of like how good or bad the 121 is in comparison to the 430U. But I do want to say, because the day this is probably going to be released is probably going to be Christmas Day, so happy holidays / Merry Christmas to everybody who's watching this here. In my case it would be Merry Christmas. So for this tank here in this matchmaking, I'm against tier 8s, which is pretty good, but at the same time this is not the greatest map for this tank. This tank is fairly quick, but this is a map which, in my opinion, kind of revolves more around about gun depression rather than speed. And the turret armor on this thing is going to be good, but only if I can get into position to use it. My gut instinct tells me to potentially go up towards the north because there's no artillery, which means I could potentially actually use my turret armor up there. And considering I have 440 alpha damage and 258 penetration, I do have a heavy tank gun effectively, so I should be able to compete with them with heavy tanks fairly easily. And if I need to, I do have the heat rounds because, well, you can't really play a tier 10 without heat rounds or premium rounds in some shape or form. Like even the Jagdpanzer 100 needed to have heat rounds or premium rounds or whatever they are on that tank because, well, sometimes you come up against tanks like the Super Conqueror and you have to try and do something to it, and unless you have like a ton of HE, which is not something you fire very often in a Jagdpanzer 100 unless you're just running full HE build. But yeah, I just find that sometimes you can need it against certain vehicles. Like, I don't fire it unless I absolutely need it though, because I just don't like premium rounds just in general, and in my opinion there's no real point in adding to the basically the plague of premium rounds. But there is a WZ-111 GFT over there. It's interesting because he's kind of come further forward than I would have ever expected him to do, because that's a tank destroyer. So it doesn't have any sort of turret to be able to fight in a place like this, so I don't know why he has gone into that area. Okay, I've been spotted. I need to go out of the way here. Actually, you know what, I'll let the T10 and the convoy deal with that guy, because there's no real point in me wasting time trying to fight a guy which is being dealt with already. And yeah, 430 actually managed to kill him off. So 263 sitting in the background getting absolutely whacked by everybody shooting at him. Type 4 heavy is right there. What I think I might do here... Oh shit, the IS-7 stopped in front of me quicker than I was expecting. Didn't pin that guy. I'm actually going to be a bit riskier. Did he just whack the Scorpion? No, he didn't. He missed. So probably going to kill the Type 4 heavy here. Then I'm going to rush forward and try and deal with some of the other guys. But Scorpion G finished him off, so no real worries about that. So whack the IS-7. IS-7's now dead. T-124 is not paying attention, so let's go around him and plant a shot hopefully into his engine and into his track. Scorpion G finishes him off. Nice. Nice little double team going on here. Defender is over there. Emil 1951's over there as well. They only have 2 tier 10s remaining. Oh, if I had just hit him I would have immediately guaranteed pinned. So let's go for this guy here. Ah, gun's trolling me a bit now. Was getting fairly lucky beforehand though, we'll say. But this thing's armor is a lot better than people give it credit for. Like, especially if you're not aiming in the right place. Like, this guy here has no chance in hell of beating me in this fight because, well, he is in an Emil 1951. And let's just say that the Swedish, just in general, don't really have a reputation for being good at brawling. They're really good at going hold down, but they're better in medium range to short range hold down engagements and not very fond of close range non-hold down engagements because they just end up getting crushed, is the best way to describe it. So let's go up to the top of this hill here and see what we can do with T49 and the Centurion Action Axe up here. I have lost a decent amount of health, That was partially due to me being a bit careless, but hopefully I'll be able to get a bit more damage out. Luring 40T is now down as well. I'm on about 2700 damage. Let's see, is the T49 and the Centurion still up here? Yes, there's the Centurion. And there's the T49. Let's just whack that guy. That's that guy done with. Now it's time for the Centurion to get a surprise. Oh, never mind, he's not surprised. See, I think I fired first there, so I should be able to get the next shot off. Got fairly lucky there. That's 268 penetration done. So the fact that he didn't pen me there is actually a wee bit of a surprise. This is not the greatest fight for me now, because that is a 10 degrees gun depression medium versus a 5 degrees gun depression medium. And I will say, having 5 degrees of gun depression after playing the WG-120 at tier 9 with 3 degrees, it does make the tank feel a lot more usable just in general. I am really getting lucky here. I'm not gonna bullshit you here with that. I'm getting really lucky with this guy bouncing off of me. I'm going to be dead here before this match ends because I'm being way too ballsy. I mean, this is a tier 10 medium tank that I'm just kind of just going forward and basically just screwing with. What's he doing now? Ah, missed the shot. I don't remember who has the faster reload either, that's the problem. Because I know this thing here is an E50M like reload time. I think he has a quicker reload than me, but I do believe my DPM is higher than his. But that's him dealt with. I survived, surprisingly. I'm genuinely surprised I survived that battle with near 5,000 damage damage done. And 1,300 assistance damage as well. Not too bad, considering this is basically the most outclassed medium in the game pretty much now. Considering the 430U is supposedly just better in every regard. It has the same gun depression as well, but first class mastery. I got Confederate as well, and a steel wall. I lucked out in seeing the grade in that game. I'm not gonna bullshit you with that, with anything like, oh yeah, that was all skill or anything. That was complete bullshit luck. But yeah, this tank here can kick out the damage if you're able to keep it alive for long enough. That's probably the main trick to this tank, because having 440 alpha damage with a sub 8 second reload, pretty sweet. I don't think the 430U, even with like max specs pretty much, can even come close to that. Like I do think I'll probably cut back in a minute, just whenever I've gotten this all sorted out. Okay, so that's the tanks set up in an equivalent way. And interestingly, the 430U is actually a lot better than I thought it was. Because I always thought the 430U's aiming time was absolutely horrendous. I thought I had off the top of my head, I thought I had like a 2.7 second aiming time. This thing's aiming time is kind of ridiculous, actually. Like, I think it's like 2.4 seconds. Considering it has a 440 alpha damage gun, that's... Yeah, like, you might be thinking like, well, you're a bit late to the party, aren't you? But our this thing has a 2.3 second reload with a 440 alpha damage gun. Seems balanced. Like, yes, the 121 has better accuracy, but does that really matter whenever your aiming time's so fast? Not really. DPM is a bit higher on the 121. The armor and the HP pool of the 430U will blow the 121 out of the water, considering even the turret on the 430U just destroys the 121's actually fairly solid turret. It doesn't even come close to the 430U's turret. 121 technically is slightly faster. It has a higher top speed and a higher part of weight ratio, but something tells me, gut feeling wise, the 430U has a lot better ground resistance stats. Just gut feeling on that. But damn. And it also got better stealth, just because, you know, why not? But wow, I was genuinely surprised at how close the DPM on the 430U is to the 121. Because the 121, well, I always thought it had like a, I don't know, like 200 or 300 difference in DPM. Like, it's not even 200, it's like it's 195. So, interesting. So I'm really intrigued now to see what the 430U feels like, because I've always kind of liked the 121. I always thought it was a cool vehicle. I always liked the novelty of the high alpha gun. But this thing here is now, well, let's just say if I like the 121, and well, out of how many games have I played in this thing? I played 55 games in it and I've got a 62% win rate. How is this thing going to be in comparison? I'm very curious now.